happy Catterday from the Wild Earth team. As you can see there, look what we have. We have a whole bunch of lions lying on the nice warm tarmac on this very cold, blustery morning. And isn't that a nice surprise? So what we have is the Styx with 2 little cubs, so 2 females from the Styx, and then there's Nena in the middle there. That is one of the Birmingham Boys. He's busy having a very big nap. And then to my... Oh, look at all the swallows, Dave. Look at that. It's amazing. There's a whole flock of swallows over these lions. I cannot tell you how amazing this looks. There's just thousands of birds, lions, grey clouds, windy. It is quite a scene that is here at the moment. Absolutely spectacular. Wow, you can hear the swallows. Listen to them. So these are all the barn swallows, and I think they're gathering to start heading back north again. These guys are going to be going up into southern Europe and North Africa, so they are gathering with this change of weather before they start heading back. But look at that picture. Isn't that amazing? Now, I know they are lying on tar, which is not the best part of it, but those sort of dead trees in the background, the lions all lying there, the grey clouds, it is really very, very, very special. Now, these are not the only lions that we actually have here, which is quite cool. Over my shoulder, which behind me that way, we have, in the grass there, you can see Birmingham number 2, which I'm not sure which one it is yet because of his head, and Birmingham number 3. So I said this morning I wanted to see all 4 Birminghams together as a third option, and I suppose 3 out of 4 is not a bad way. And if we throw the 2 Styx in and 2 cubs, I suppose that makes another Birmingham, so we can just call it that we saw all of them. And it is a spectacular sighting. I'm very, very, very chuffed that we managed to catch up with all of them, and they all look as though they are quite sleepy. The Styx have nice full bellies, which means that I don't think they're going to go anywhere today. So this afternoon I'm definitely going to come back here, well, this evening should I say, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more action out of them. But isn't this amazing? So, like I say, it is Catterday, and I don't know if there's a better way with 3 big male lions, 2 little fat cubs, and 2 beautiful females. So for all of you out there that always celebrates Catterday with us, it would be nice to hear from you. And we can send through any sort of comments that you have or questions that you have about them to #SafariLive, and we'll answer all your Catterday questions. James, well, I don't know if I've ever got all the Catterday luck, but I suppose we have. I mean, that jackal sighting was absolutely incredible. These swallows are quite something too. The massive swallows that is on this runway that keep flying over these lions is really incredible. And then to top it all off, to have the lions lying around and the Birminghams. I actually can't remember the last time I saw more than 1 Birmingham. I was telling Dave that I haven't seen a Birmingham boy this month, and I've only seen one Birmingham boy in my entire time at Safari Live. So that is now 2 months, and I've only seen 1 sighting of a Birmingham boy. I've followed their tracks a lot, but I haven't seen them, which is really a bit disconcerting. So I'm so glad that I've actually got to catch up with them. Now, the one that is lying in amongst those lions and behind this reclining lady of leisure is Nena, which is my favorite of the 4 of them. He is a beautiful male. He's got a really incredible mane. His mane tends to stand really tall. It's interesting because most of the lions that I've seen that have had really long manes, particularly on top of their head, the mane tends to flop and tends to fall a little bit, whereas his is almost straight up, like somebody has permed his head and permed his hair, and he's got this kind of big sort of mane that fluffs out off the top of his head. So he's really is my favorite of the 4 of them. Now I'm hoping that maybe Mfumo is here as well, because I haven't seen him. The last time I saw Mfumo was when he had that massive gash underneath his eye, and that must have been in October, maybe somewhere around there, September. So I haven't seen him since then. So I'm really dying to see what he looks like and how much bigger he's gotten. If the other Birmingham boys are something to judge by, he's definitely put on a bit of weight. But those little cubs, look at them, they are absolutely comatose. And with bellies like that, no wonder. Look at the size of that tummy. It is bulging. And look at that, there you go, you can see that tummy is huge. Now there's 1 Styx female missing, and I'm sure she's with her cubs. Remember, the Styx have new cubs. We haven't seen them yet, but they were born just before Tropical Storm Djuma, so that was when? Beginning of the month? Somewhere around there. So they're still very, very little, and that's why they're not with the pride yet. They're not moving around. So you'll find that that female probably ate with these adults and with the cub, and then now she's gone back to her cubs to go and suckle and provide some nutrients for them. So that's why she's missing. But But those little cubs look really good, considering that they've had this main story, and the Styx were the subject to a lot of controversy. In fact, sorry, there's the third female at the back. I don't even know why I'm saying there's only 2 females. There's all 3 are here. Sorry about that. Completely forgot there was one lying behind the Birmingham. She's kind of hidden behind there, but now I see her tail sticking out. There we go. So they have had this whole saga with the mange, and you can see the adult females are looking healthy. I mean, they've really bounced back quite well, and so have those cubs. Those cubs are not looking nearly as bad as what they were. And these are the new set, so this is not the ones that really suffered from the mange during the drought, but they did have it for a little bit, and they really don't look too bad at all. In fact, they look really good, and when their tummies are really full like this and we're getting rainy conditions, that can only mean positive signs for these cubs, which is really good. So I'm super glad about that. The Styx Pride needs a bit of a break in their luck. They need to be able to start producing some cubs, because otherwise shortly they're going to disappear. Michael, you're wondering if I know the ages of the Styx Lionesses. Michael, I'm actually not sure. The Styx Lionesses, I used to know them very, very well, and then we kind of went through a period where there was a bit of chaos. Lots of the members were lost, and since then I actually am not sure, but I can kind of roughly guess the ages. There's one of the females is quite old, so she's must be, I would say, 10, 11, and then she's got another female that they tend to stick together, and that she must also be quite close to that, about 9 or 10, I would imagine. Both of them are quite heavily scarred around the faces. They've got quite tatty ears, so they would be about that age. And then I think there's one that's a little bit younger at around 8, but I'm sure some of the viewers will be able to help me and will know the exact ages of these Styx Lionesses. During my time at Simbambili, I hardly saw them, to be honest. We saw them very, very seldom. Most of what we saw was the Savala Pride, so I kind of lost contact a little bit with the ages and who exactly is alive at this stage and how old they are. But I would imagine they're between sort of 8 and 10, 8 and 11, all 3 of them. But that is, I suppose if it's a windy, cloudy day, this is perfect weather to have a nap. White Lady Owen, you're wondering if the lioness closest to me is pregnant. Well, no, that is just a tummy full of meat. So she's absolutely massive because they've eaten something. So whatever they ate, it must have been fairly reasonable, because you can see even the Birmingham Boys got a slight bump on his tummy. So I reckon they must have killed something quite big. I don't know if anybody's actually seen our zebra that was injured. I wonder if maybe they didn't grab that zebra and ate that last night and then finished it off, because the tracks for the males come from Gowrie Dam. 2 males walked past there, so that's the 2 that are probably lying off to the side that joined. But maybe these guys found our zebra and ate it. Would be enough to fill all of those bellies, that's for sure. But isn't that lion absolutely magnificent? Look at his mane, and look at how it's starting to go dark. You can see one of the telltale signs that, well, one of the ways I always identify Nena is with his black stripe down the middle of his head, although he seems to have gotten quite a few scars recently. But he's got that black sort of mohawk stripe down the head. That always is quite useful for me. But his whole mane has darkened considerably since the last time I saw him. He used to have a very blonde mane, but it's now gone a more ginger color, and you can see around the chest area it's even starting to go a bit darker as well. So we're going to sit here and we're just going to enjoy this beautiful sight of these lions all together. And while we do that, let's go across to Miss McCurdy and see what she's up to. Well, they've all just popped up their head because the sun has come out, and it is absolutely spectacular. It is beautiful. The lions are lying on this tarmac, the sun is out, these clouds in the distance. It is just a really beautiful morning. So I think these lions are not going to stay too much longer on this runway, because it's starting to get quite warm in the sun. So I reckon that you'll find that as the sun goes, there we go, you can see it already, they're starting to stand up. There's one female that's up already, and she's looking as though she's going to start moving and trying to find a little bit of shade. But isn't this just spectacular? What a way to end our sunrise safari on Catterday, to have all the Birmingham's boys with the Styx girls. Very, very cool. And they look really amazing, don't they? They are full, they're healthy. Birmingham Boys are looking very good as well. Look at that. His mane is absolutely incredible. Of the four, he's really got the nicest looking mane. And isn't that the most regal pose? Facing into the wind, his mane blowing in the wind. Absolutely incredible. Well, what we're going to do is I'm just going to try and reposition just so we can ID the other two males that are behind us, so that you guys get a chance just to see who we have here. Like I say, I will come back this afternoon to try and catch up with all of these lions and see what they get up to. But let's have a look. I think we've got Mfumo right at the end, and then I can't see if this is Nsuko or Tinyo that is right close. Nsuku, sorry, not Nsuko, Nsuku. Sorry, James, please don't shout at me. So James is the one that teaches us all of these words and makes sure we pronounce things properly. So Tinyo is who we've got here, so Nsuku is the one that is missing at the moment. But you can tell it's him just because of his lip. His lip is slightly up because he's missing that tooth, so we know that it's him. And then I can already see that it's Mfumo in the distance there because he's got a cut out of his ear. Are you tired, my boy? Did you walk a long way? Now I think these two that are lying off to the side are the ones that walked past Djuma last night and all the way to here and then joined up with the rest of them. That's why I think they're ready for a nice nap. Also, you can see they're being blown about by wind at the moment, so they just curled up into tight little balls, making sure that they stay out of the wind and have a nice rest. But what an absolutely incredible last hour we've had from those jackals with that impala and these two males, and then the male with the pride has been absolutely incredible. So we've had a really great morning. I hope all of you have enjoyed it too, but it's unfortunately that time of the day where we are going to say goodbye and send our farewells, but we will see you this afternoon on our sunset safari, and like I say, we'll be coming back to the lions and see what they get up to. So from myself and Dave, it's been lovely having you. Hope you have a wonderful day wherever you may be, and we'll see you this afternoon.